Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our monthly program ASEAN 2015 Challenges and Opportunities in full English. My name is Dr. Wilfried, and as you know, I'm the Executive Director of the Human Development Forum Foundation, which runs a couple of programs on ASEAN 2015 and integration. We are a non-for-profit organization. After our last session was more on Thailand concentrated regarding to land rights, today we are going back to the regional and super-regional perspectives. Therefore, we invited some young people from different countries and different regions to have a look on ASEAN 2015. ASEAN 2015 will have a major effect on their future, because most of them will stay in ASEAN or having contact to ASEAN and will be faced with the integration process for the next years. So today we have Kunvarista from Thailand, Mr. Alec from the US, and Ms. Annette from Myanmar. Before we start our discussion, I would like to invite you to introduce yourself very briefly. Okay, Kunvarista first.
My name is Farid Thaborkert, and I'm from Thailand, Bangkok.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Alec Insusina. I'm from Chicago, United States.
Okay.
My name is Amy Minton. I'm from Yangon, Myanmar.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today. My first question is very natural. If I talk to young people, my interest is, what do you feel if you listen to the word ASEAN 2015? Is there any feeling? Please.
When I hear ASEAN 2015, all I came up is the representation and conjunction of 10 nations working together to strive for political, economic, and socio-cultural development in Southeast Asian region.
Okay, thank you. Alec?
Well, when I hear the words ASEAN 2015, the first thing that come to mind is going to be the opening of the economic community, of course. So the ASEAN economic community is set to open at the end of this year.
Okay. Kunvarista?
I would think about the cooperation and in Southeast Asian nations, and because there's also 2015 at the end, so it will be start soon. Yeah.
Okay, so it's about cooperation, it's about soon, because we are now in the middle of 2015, and of course with a strong economic context. And with that, we will go for our break.
แต่รู้ไหมว่าขยะเหล่านี้สามารถนำมารีไซเคิลเป็นสมุดสิ่งที่มีค่าสำหรับพวกเขาได้ด้วยแนวคิดการใช้ทรัพยากรธรรมชาติอย่างรู้คุณค่าและให้เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุดทำให้ดอนเมืองโทเวย์ได้เริ่มดำเนินโครงการสมุดกรีนเวย์โครงการเพื่อยกระดับสิ่งแวดล้อมให้คงอยู่ชั่วลูกชั่วหลานตราบนานเท่านานโทเวย์กรีนเวย์คูปองดิจิตอลทีวีกสทช.มาแล้วค่ะคูปองครับดิจิตอลทีวีที่เขาบอกว่าคูปองดิจิตอลทีวีมาแล้วครับ
วันนี้คูปองมูลค่า690 บาทใช้แลกกล่องเซ็ตท็อปบ็อกซ์หรือเป็นส่วนลดซื้อทีวีดิจิตอลได้ที่ศูนย์จำหน่ายที่มีสัญลักษณ์โครงการ
อย่าลืมอ่านก่อนแล้วเตรียมเอกสารให้ครบนะครับ
แจกแล้ว42จังหวัดภายในสิ้นปีนี้ดิจิตอลทีวีดูดีทุกบ้าน
บริษัท IRPC จำกัดมหาชนพร้อมก้าวสู่ผู้นำด้านปิโตรเคมีและการกลั่นครบวงจร
Welcome back to our full English program on ASEAN 2015 Challenges and Opportunities. Today we have youth from inside and outside ASEAN representing one country from outside ASEAN, the United States, and two countries from ASEAN, Myanmar and Thailand. In the first round, we had a short introduction what our guests are thinking about when they are listening to ASEAN 2015. Now we want to come a little bit deeper. Because you are young people, the question is how it will influence you in your future and how you see from outside how it will influence the young people of ASEAN, this integration process. Alec.
Well, I think the first thing that I think about when I think about the integration of the ASEAN economic community is going to be that is obviously the opening of markets. So when you think about what might happen inside ASEAN, you might see that certain countries develop a stronger market for, let's say, the automobile industry. You won't have both Thailand and Myanmar doing the auto industry, or you can't have at least the auto industry in every country. So you might end up seeing that certain countries end up specializing in different sectors of industry, and that can have a pretty profound effect, I think, on the way that education is planned per country, manufacturing is planned per country, and infrastructure as well.
Okay. So, what is your take?
I would think about the more multicultural environment, because I would think about ASEAN as a flow of people. So we'll have a mix of cultures, and also in workplaces and also like in public spaces.
Okay.
So I am teaching English to young learners. So personally, I think in my country there will be more foreign investments, and this will lead to more job opportunities. And as my country has many job demands, I think it will be more competitive, and so not only working competence but also the role of English will become influential. So people will need to learn English in any way. So I think I will have more opportunities in my teaching English profession.
Okay, that's a good point. I think language is an important point. And what is your take on the topic from Annette that English will be very crucial for the future of ASEAN?
Yes, I agree with Annette because each ASEAN countries we have our own languages, and it must be very difficult to know all the languages. So English would become a very crucial medium to communicate with all others.
So from your perspective, you would say the young people in Thailand should learn English, right?
That's true. Actually, we've already had some classes in our school, but it's obviously not enough for us at the moment. So I think if government can encourage our English lessons more, then this must be like the better opportunities for us.
Okay. Alec, in North America we have NAFTA. So again, 3 countries, 3 languages or 2.5 languages, if you put French in Canada in. How important is the knowledge of English for a regional organization?
Well, I'm not 100% sure about NAFTA, but I think that in the case of ASEAN, language and English being the official language of ASEAN is going to be one of the biggest barriers to the flow of skilled labor in ASEAN. If you want to be like a doctor from Thailand going to Indonesia, it's not going to be enough just to have English, but you have to have English and whatever local language they speak on whatever island you're going to. So I think that English is really not just, it can't be the same as in North America, where in Canada and United States you can speak English and get by. Even in Mexico you might be able to speak English and get by. Even in the United States you might be able to just get by with Spanish, depending on where you are in the region. But in ASEAN, there's a lot more different languages, and that's a whole nother level that skilled labor needs to be educated about. And I think that's going to be a big barrier and make the process quite long for ASEAN.
Okay. Coming back to the topic, what Kunvarista said, the multicultural way. So you have the SEA Games, so you have a good competition in football, Thailand and Myanmar, but also multicultural means that we have to work in different work environments together with our friends from other countries, from other ASEAN countries. What do you see is the advantage of being together now in this group and working with a Thai, with an American?
Working with various cultures. Yeah, it's good to exchange our cultures and appreciate each other cultures, so that we can build up more cooperative and more unite more, which will show our unity in our ASEAN nations and also throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel really good to work with various cultures, as yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay. Alec, how do you feel working with Thai and Myanmar in one team?
I love it. I think it's really a great experience to be able to bond with your fellow global citizens, not just your own countrymen or the people in your same culture. I think that it'll really, as people start moving around, the flow of people gets going and people start being able to experience other cultures, I think it'll be a really big boon to the opening of minds to a lot of the changes that might happen over the course of the opening of the ASEAN economic community.
How do you feel working with a Myanmar friend and with an American citizen?
It's very interesting because like our attitude is not the same. We don't have quite same mindset. So sometimes we need to adapt. We need to be adaptive all the time to learn new things, and yeah, it's a really good experience for me.
I mean, this is why you're called youth, and I include myself because youth is still learning and we are learning lifelong, and culture is one of the things which is very important to learn. Talking a little bit about culture and still coming back to integration. Alec, your friends in America, do they know anything about ASEAN 2015?
Well, I do have some friends that participate in Model United Nations.
Okay.
And so sometimes they'll run a simulated version of ASEAN as one of their activities. However, I don't think that my friends think pretending to be ASEAN is very fun at the moment. I think that as ASEAN becomes more integrated, people will become more interested in it. The ASEAN economic community kind of lays a little bit of the framework for a possible free trade agreement with the United States. And as the United States continues to grow closer to ASEAN, my friends in the United States will be more interested.
Annette, your friends in Myanmar, any idea of ASEAN 2015? Any hopes of ASEAN 2015?
Yes, we do have hopes. Like, as our developing countries will become developed, the politics will become democratic, and also the business will be opened, more flourished, and in that case it will be beneficial not only for our ASEAN nations but also for the whole world. So we do have positive attitude towards ASEAN. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And your friends in the university or even in England?
My friend in the United Kingdom, I think they don't concern much about ASEAN because at the beginning it hasn't started yet, and I think on their side they still have more interest in Africa or other regions in the world. But if I look back into my friends and colleagues in Thailand or in other Asian countries, they also have some people think positively about ASEAN because we can go traveling around and we can work in other places, so we can meet others, we can meet friends from other country easily. But some also like critical about the integration, whether it will be completely integrated or it will be like practical for Asian countries or even in Thailand, as like can we be a united cooperation? Yes.
Okay, I mean, we go for the next break.
มันเป็นขยะแต่รู้ไหมว่าขยะเหล่านี้สามารถนำมารีไซเคิลเป็นสมุดสิ่งที่มีค่าสำหรับพวกเขาได้ด้วยแนวคิดการใช้ทรัพยากรธรรมชาติอย่างรู้คุณค่าและให้เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุดทำให้ดอนเมืองโทเวย์ได้เริ่มดำเนินโครงการสมุดกรีนเวย์โครงการเพื่อยกระดับสิ่งแวดล้อมให้คงอยู่ชั่วลูกชั่วหลานตราบนานเท่านานโทเวย์กรีนเวย์คูปองดิจิตอลทีวีกสทช.มาแล้วค่ะคูปองครับรอดูดิจิตอลทีวีซึ่งเขาบอกว่าคูปองดิจิตอลทีวีมาแล้วครับ
วันนี้คูปองมูลค่า690 บาทใช้แลกกล่องเซ็ตท็อปบ็อกซ์หรือเป็นส่วนลดซื้อทีวีดิจิตอลได้ที่ศูนย์จำหน่ายที่มีสัญลักษณ์โครงการ
อย่าลืมอ่านก่อนแล้วเตรียมเอกสารให้ครบนะครับ
แจกแล้ว42จังหวัดภายในสิ้นปีนี้ดิจิตอลทีวีดูดีทุกบ้าน
บริษัท IRPC จำกัดมหาชนพร้อมก้าวสู่ผู้นำด้านปิโตรเคมีและการกลั่นครบวงจร
Welcome back to our program, and the question goes to Alec about the practical implementation. What do you think will be the most challenging part beside language for 10 countries to practically implement?
I think the most challenging thing about the implementation of the ASEAN Economic Community is that ASEAN is structured as a multinational organization. So the ASEAN way is going to be building consensus, building consent, rather than having a supranational arbiter. So it's not going to be a system like the European Union where you have a centralized organization that's able to set guidelines for each country, but these countries and their leaders really have to work together in finding good consensus, and that'll be the biggest challenge to the integration.
Okay, thank you very much. I think one of the things what we shall look at is that ASEAN 2015 is a unity in diversity. We have a lot of cultures, we have a lot of nations, we have a lot of languages and different habits, ideas. So we have to bring this together, and this for 10 very, very different countries. And of course, 2015 is just the starting point of a process. It's not the finishing point. And this is the key point what will give you the future to work with or in ASEAN. And from our perspective, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for being here and giving us the chance to look a little bit in your ideas on ASEAN 2015. And we will come back for the next month's program with another full English program on ASEAN 2015 challenges and opportunities.